record an episode.
Golden?
Yeah, golden.
Oh, don't look at me like that. Big Fat Dubs Nation. Don't you dare be sour. Clap for the #1 sports talk on YouTube. Calling it, not true, but we're going to call it right now.
Why not?
Because we really haven't established that yet.
Yeah, right. Shit.
And feel the power. Welcome to Big Fat Dub Sports Talk. It's been a while since we've done one of these. It's been actually a few months. Got a little sidetracked, a lot of things, a lot of personal stuff and like that. But we're back to give you the peoples the ever so loving update on sports. Finish off our football and to go into a little bit of depths on some other sporting events. We're gonna start with football. Start off, we ended up right before the Super Bowl. A little Super Bowl recap. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Philadelphia Eagles in an actually really good Super Bowl. One of the better ones that we've seen in a long time.
Versus brother.
Yep, Kelsey brothers going at each other. Patrick Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts in a great quarterback battle. You also felt really bad for Jalen Hurts because he actually outplayed Patrick Mahomes, except the Chiefs won. So Chiefs winning 38-35. What a great game for this Super Bowl. It's actually one of the better ones. Actually a great offensive power football. And defenses may play when they need to. So congratulations to the Kansas Chiefs. Great job on that. Patrick Mahomes also winning the MVP award for the Super Bowl and for the regular season. So great job to Patrick Mahomes. I think there was no one better for that award than that. We're not going to go into other awards and everything like that. Also, fuck the Jets. You stole the Rookie of the Year awards. So fuck you. Someone come at me. You Jets fan, come at me and tell me how Sauce Gardner is better than Tyreek Woodland and how I don't even know who the fuck won the offensive player. Carter Williams or shit like that or something like that.
Yeah.
How did you do better than Kenneth Walker? So come at me, bros.
Especially when we put them side by side and you look at the stat wise, it's like our guys had like two more high first place categories of stat for rookies.
Well, not only that though, but like Sauce Gardner didn't have as many interceptions as Tyreek Woodland. So there's that category. And in less time, Walker was a 1,000-yard rusher. I think he missed a couple games, and he was still a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yep, he did miss a couple games.
Actually, one of the better running backs in the league at that time. So come at me. Couple big newses we have. We have the draft coming up soon for the NFL. Lots of talk on how the quarterback play will be going out. Rumored to be at least 4 quarterbacks going the top 5 picks, including Seattle potentially getting a quarterback. We will see about that. And we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about that when the draft happens and everything like that. Other big news: we had a lot of free agency, a lot of some trades happening this year. A lot of players requesting to leave their current teams.
Yeah, this is just last week. A lot of guys asking for.
Yep, 2 really primary big ones: Buda Baker wanting to leave the Cardinals, Lamar Jackson wanting to leave the Ravens. I don't know if that's true now. With the signing of Odell Beckham Jr. to the Baltimore Ravens, we've had some really interesting ones. Jalen Ramsey now on the Dolphins. We have. Oh, God, there's a bunch I totally forgot because I really don't pay attention to that often.
It's like once the season's over and it's like...
It really is. We have Tom Brady finally retiring from the NFL.
Yep.
Decided to hang up his cleats, his golden cleats. Oh, man, you. Let's see. Jimmy Garoppolo is to the Raiders. We have Derek Carr on the Saints.
That's going to be an interesting one right there, I think. Derek Carr to the Saints.
I think it's a smart move. The division is so shitty. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be very interesting to see.
I still think the 49ers getting Sam Darnold was a dumb idea for a backup.
Well, they have so many issues going on of whether or not they want to go Trey Lance or Brock Purdy.
Yep.
Gardner Minshew signing with the Colts. Marcus Mariota signing with the Falcon, or not the Falcons, the Eagles. Me. Oh God, there's potential that Dalvin Cook might get released here real soon from the Vikings. We had a big trade in the NFL draft. We had the Chicago Bears trade away the number one pick for a handful of picks, and they also got DJ Moore from the Carolina Panthers. So they are on the clock for the first overall pick. Potentially, they are going to go for either CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. One of the two guys will be the number one overall pick. Potentially, Seattle is looking at one of two players: Will Anderson, the defensive edge rusher out of Alabama, or Anthony Richardson out of Florida. Or the third option would be Will Levis out of Kentucky. I have a buddy that's really rooting for that. It's a lot to say. I think on that, Richardson fits the organization's play style more because he's athletic. He's a runner, which is kind of, they'll probably treat it a little bit better than what they do with, Russ and everything like that. But he's got a hell of an arm. He's a mobile quarterback, so I would say they're probably going to go with Richardson, but we'll talk about that later on.
Think they're going to get another offensive lineman high draft pick or not? They're going to roll with what they got?
No, there's not a high level of offensive lineman.
This draft?
Yeah, this is not a.
What do you think this draft is more lacking this year? Like really lacking.
I think drafts every year lack every position because honestly, I can never say that this person is NFL ready. But
that's fair, though. That is fair.
I mean, look how many quarterbacks get taken in the first round, and all of them fall apart.
Yeah, after the first
you're
4 years.
You're talking Blake Bortles. You're talking. I hate to say this, but he's our local boy. Jake Locker is number 8 overall pick.
The Brady Quinn.
The Brady Quinns. They knew he was starting to bust because he dropped in the draft. Actually, Jamarcus Russells. You have Christian Ponders.
Johnny Manziel.
The Manziels. You have the unfortunacy of Robert Griffin III didn't pan out because of his injuries. You can never say that these guys are ever NFL ready. I don't think this quarterback class is good. I don't think we've had a good quarterback class in a long time.
No.
To be honest. So we'll see how the draft goes. You want to add anything to football?
Not at this moment. I think like you had said, just I want to see what happens with the draft. I want to see who gets what, and I actually want to kind of debate about those picks of those teams, like whether they're actually smart or not. Because obviously, during the draft too, there's trades that happen and all that stuff. So we still have more to come, but as well as I do, we had that, what was that, last month? We had 2 weeks of solid, just bunch of shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
Guys getting traded, guys getting released. It was nuts. I wish we would have had a thing going on then, but there was just so much stuff going on. Guys going this way, that way, guys retiring. It was just like,
it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. And, it's one of those things where, a lot of these players are, they're unhappy in the current organization, so they decide to go wherever the paycheck's good.
Yep.
There's a lot of question marks. It's hard to really say. Like, is this good? Is this pick going to be good for them? Is this draft pick? Is this free agent signing going to be good? Because that's the thing. Like, I could say Jimmy Garoppolo to the Raiders is a good sign. Here's the issue: you're in the fucking AFC West. Who's in the AFC West?
Russell Wilson.
Fuck you. We're talking the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champion, current MVP, Patrick Mahomes. Anyone ever says Russell Wilson again, I'm slapping the shit out of you. Bust.
Yeah, but also
Bust.
I'm actually really interested to see how the Chargers bounce back after what I think is a disappointing season there. And I thought they would go much further. I hope they can actually bounce back, but we'll have to see.
Well, they have a new offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore, who actually did pretty well over in Dallas.
Yes. Yep.
So I'd like to see what they can do there and everything like that. Yeah, I mean, the signing of Jimmy Garoppolo to the Raiders actually makes that division a little bit better quarterback competition wise. You have three guys who are now Super Bowl quarterbacks, technically Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Garoppolo was a backup. Let's hold our horses there a little bit, people. And you have a very up and comer and Justin Herbert. I'd like to see what happens there. I think the issue though that I have with the Raiders is you got Jimmy Garoppolo, you then traded away fucking Darren Waller. You traded away one of your best weapons.
Yeah, right.
But they still have Devontae Adams, and they had Josh Jacobs, who come off an amazing year. So let's see what happens with that. I don't think there's really much more to talk about football. We'll probably get back next week or whenever the draft happens, and probably go a little bit more in there.
I mean, there's still some guys that are looking to get picked up, like Zeke Elliott.
Yep.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is still yanking the Jets chain right now. What he wants to do.
Fuck him.
So
Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, fuck you. You both get on that list because you're both fucking little bitches. Now we have some fun to talk about. We're into, as Kelly likes to say, playoffs. That we are in the NBA playoffs right now. We are not going to talk about the playing games or like that because, frankly, I don't give a shit about them. But we're gonna go through each matchup. Yes, the games have already started, so we'll talk. We'll kind of give a brief description about what happened there, and then we'll do our picks on who we think is going to win each round. We're not going to do the whole playoffs right away, but we're going to do each round as we did in football. First up for the Eastern Conference, we have the number 8 seeded Miami Heat versus the number 1 seeded Milwaukee Bucks, with my man Giannis Antetokounmpo. Miami Heat got the early win today, 130 over 117. A lot of injuries though. Tyler Hero from the Heat has a broken right hand. And Giannis exited early with a back injury, so we'll see how that happens there. Currently, the Heat are up 1-0. Who do you think will win this matchup?
I'm going to go with Milwaukee in 6.
Okay, I agree to that. Actually, I'm going to say 7.
You're going to go all 7?
I'm going to go all 7 because Jimmy Butler is a great competitor.
Yes, he is.
He's a great competitor. He's going to give that team a heart. But it's going to be a lot like the NBA Finals when it was the Lakers versus the Heat. Butler's going to do everything he can. But honestly, if you watch the NBA this year, you watched any Milwaukee Bucks game, this team is fucking on a mission. Giannis is a fucking one of the best in the world right now. And argue me with that. Argue me with that Giannis is not one of the best people in the NBA. So we both have Milwaukee. He said 6 games. I have 7. Next matchup, we have the Boston Celtics, reigning Eastern Conference champions, versus the Atlanta Hawks of the number 7 seed. Currently, the Celtics are up 1-0. I think Boston wins in 5.
I was actually kind of leaning the same way. Boston in 5. 4 or 5. Well,
you do 4. You do a clean
4 or
sweep.
5 is what I'm seeing right here. I think Atlanta's still going to sneak that 1 win in.
Yeah, so you say Boston in 5.
I'm saying Boston in 5.
I think the Eastern Conference is going to come down between Boston and Milwaukee. 2 just amazing teams.
Yes, that'd be great.
Matchup number 3 is we have the 3-seeded Philadelphia 76ers, who are currently leading the Brooklyn Nets 1-0. Sixers getting a 20-point victory on the Nets. I say Sixers and... Actually, I'm going to say 6. I'm going to say Brooklyn takes 2.
I'm going to say Sixers in 5. I think Brooklyn's only going to get 1.
Because that's fair. I
feel like they're still kind of self-destructing a little bit there.
Well, they did that big trade this year with trading away both Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant.
So I think that's going to still come. I think that's going to be a factor here for them in the playoffs, not having that veteran leadership.
Exactly. Next matchup, I think this is the last of the Eastern Conference. Yes, it is. We have the New York Knickerbockers, which is the actual name of the team. The New York Knicks leading the Cleveland Cavaliers, the 4 and 5 seed, 1-0. Knicks winning 101-97. I'm going to say Cleveland in 6. Even though New York got the win today, I don't think they're going to sustain the whole thing. Cleveland's been a really good team. So I'm going to say Cleveland in 6.
I'm going to go the same. I'm going to do Cleveland in 6 too.
All right. So that's our Eastern Conference matches right there. We're going to try to watch these as much as we can. A lot of these guys are on TNT. We don't have TNT channel, so we're just going to watch what we can. So we're going to go to the first matchup of the
Western Conference.
Western Conference. We have the number 1 seeded Denver Nuggets with 2-time reigning MVP Nikola Jokic versus the number 8 seeded Minnesota Timberwolves.
I'm sorry, the number 1 seeded Denver Nuggets.
It's amazing. Well, we'll get to where
I'm just saying.
We'll get to the
Denver Nuggets being the number 1 seed is just like what?
Well, the funny part is looking at the playoffs this year and thinking about the top 3 teams in the Western Conference. Back when the Sonics were around, when the Supersonics were around, the top 3 teams were not that good. Whoever the top 3 teams are this year, back when the Sonics were playing, they weren't those teams. They weren't that good. They weren't, and you'll see. We'll talk about those later. We have the number 1 seeded Denver Nuggets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm going to say Nuggets in a sweep.
I was going to actually say the same thing. Nuggets in 4.
Okay. Minnesota's a good team, but I think Denver's just way too good.
Yeah, I mean, they just barely got in there, too.
Yeah.
So.
I hate this matchup because I hate both these teams. We have the number 7 Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James leading the Memphis Grizzlies, the number 2 seed, 1-0. Fuck me. I hate to say this, but the Lakers are going to win in probably 6 games. Ugh.
I'm going to go different. I'm going to go Memphis in 5.
You think this win is going to be the only win they get in this round? Which is fair. No, stay by your pick. I just think though
it's LeBron and AD is just can't stay consistent.
And for me, I think this team. I think Memphis is not ready yet. They say they are. I don't think they're ready. This is a surprising matchup. We have the number 3 seeded
2 California teams,
Sacramento Kings versus the Golden State Warriors at the number 6. Golden State Warriors being the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal champions. And Sacramento, who has not made the playoffs since 2006.
It's a dub over the Warriors.
This was a great game, by the way. If you know me, I'm a Warriors fan. I'm a Curry fan. But I also love the true underdogs. So if the Kings beat the Warriors in this series, I will not be disappointed. Because I do love watching the Kings. They are a good, fundamental basketball team. However, I love you, Sacramento Kings. We share a name, literally, Kings and King. But you know you can't go wrong with Curry, Clay, Draymond, Warriors in 6.
Same. I'm going Warriors in 6 too. I think Kings get just one more, and then that's it.
See, the thing with the Warriors, though, is they have to get this next game. They have been a really bad road team all year long. They need to get this win in Sacramento. Yeah. They have to win.
See, what I would also like to see, too, is if we had it, like you said, like the actual bracket, so whoever the winner of this is plays, whoever, I like to see who they play next. Obviously, we could do it by, 3 and 6 and all that, but... but I'd like to actually see the whole outline.
We would love to see a bracket. If we can find it, maybe on the next rounds we'll do that. And then finally, the last matchup of the Western Conference playoffs, we have the Phoenix Suns versus the Los Angeles Clippers.
Phoenix in 4.
Really?
Yep.
I actually am going to go different. I'm going to go Clippers in. I'm going to say a 7-game series.
That might possibly come out to be a 7-game series. I was looking at that too. I mean, like, either
You
it's
have
gonna be
both
one
teams
se-
with the big three. You have Phoenix Suns with, um, and the great thing matchup is that they're both accurate on their big three. They both required that third member on the trade deadline.
right.
You had the Phoenix Suns with CP3, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant. The Clippers have Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard. I just think the Clippers are a little bit better than the Suns. They're a lot tougher. They're physicality wise, they're tougher.
Physicality, well, they would be. Phoenix has definitely got more of the, I guess you could say more athleticism kind of side.
Well, the thing is, and this is probably in like big favor for Phoenix, they shoot 10 times better than the fucking Clippers.
Well, that was also because if you look at Paul and you look at Booker as well.
I mean, Booker and Durant alone are can outshoot this Clippers team like nobody's business.
That's why I'm thinking it's just going to be, just downtown.
I think the Clippers are going to be more physical and force it and everything like that. I wouldn't be surprised if Phoenix loses. And honestly, whoever of all these matchups, I could care less who like wins and loses because I just want to see good basketball. Outside of the Warriors, I do want to see the Warriors win and blah blah blah. Curry, and all that stuff.
But Phoenix has, at least from the years that I've been watching the Phoenix Suns, they get tired as they get further into the playoffs. That's my only thing. Is like, yeah, you're gonna make it far because I know when they got to that championship game, they were just tired. They were depleted. I mean, yeah, they couldn't.
Well, and that's the thing. That's another thing to bring up too. Is you think about that NBA Finals when it was Milwaukee versus Phoenix. Shooting wise, the Suns outshot the Bucks, but then it became physicality wise, and Giannis manhandled him.
Giannis was on a mission that season. He wanted that badly.
So out of the Eastern Conference, who are your pick to go to the finals?
I'm going with Milwaukee.
I am too. Like, Milwaukee's that team you literally can hate, but I can't say I hate them. I love watching Giannis play. He plays physical. He plays, he plays very, very smart. He's one of those players that didn't come into the. I love a story when an NBA player comes in the league not being the guy, and people kind of looking past him to then now he's the fucking guy.
Right.
That's the same with Steph Curry. Steph Curry was not supposed to be the guy. Now Steph Curry he could be in talks for some GOAT conversations.
Could be. I think he already is.
Some people don't say so, but
I know that's some people.
Because while King LeBron James is still in the NBA, who the GOAT? Well, sorry, LeBron. I can get in discussion about that. I'd love to have discussions with somebody about that. Out of the East, I would say Milwaukee's my number one pick, followed by Boston. I don't think there's really any other team after that.
No, not really.
Out of the Western Conference, who is your picks to go to the finals?
I would like to see obviously the Warriors. Actually, let's see Denver make it.
I wouldn't mind Denver either. I think they have to. They have to go. They have to win it, or else Jokic's MVPs are all for nothing.
They kind of have been.
Yeah. I want to see the Warriors. I could see the Suns. I wouldn't mind seeing Phoenix because they're a team that never won the finals.
Yeah, I would like to see them win. I would like Chris Paul to get that one, but I feel like they're past that. I think they've had their chance, and that was it. I think they're just gonna get through like the first couple rounds, and that's it.
The sleeper team that I would want to see is this team right here, Sacramento.
That would be great.
I mean, again,
that honestly would be great.
It's the team that never hasn't been in the playoffs since 2006. They're fucking young and hungry. I like this team. Like, I wish that the Warriors didn't play them so I could root for them. But they got the Warriors. I think out of the Western Conference, I know a lot of people's pick is the Lakers. And on paper, they're the best team because they have LeBron James. But I don't trust that team. I don't trust them enough.
I can't trust one person.
I
can't trust one person.
Also, big NBA news that we never talked about. LeBron James breaking the all-time scoring record is now the NBA all-time leading scorer. You deserve a lot of credit for that, LeBron James. You are considered one of the greatest I'm going to emphasize this. one of the
Thank
greatest
you.
players
Thank
of all
you.
time. I am not putting you at the greatest because I have two guys ahead of you. And that is Michael Jordan,
And
which is the best,
Kobe.
and Kobe Bean Black Mamba, may you rest in peace, Bryant. Because again, this is a conversation we can have later on. But for me, I think about guys who really took over games, and when you think about like when your team is playing this team, A, you want to go because you want to see greatness, but B, you just knew it was going to be a fucking long day.
Right.
Jordan was that way in the 90s. Bryant was that until he retired. LeBron James, it's fun. It would be fun to go watch LeBron, but it's not going to be one where it's like, oh God, how is my team going to stop him? And unfortunately, LeBron, your teams are pretty easy to stop. Your teams are pretty damn easy to stop. Now a player who's getting that way of like, oh fuck, I want to go see him, I want to see it happen, but god damn it, I can't. Our team's going to struggle. Well, is Steph Curry and the Warriors. And I have seen them in person. Thank God I'm a Warriors fan because I would have been pissed off to be a Blazers fan that night. Because goddamn, did they shoot the shit out of them? Yeah, so I think we both in agreement. Golden State Warriors coming out of the Western Conference, followed by Phoenix Suns, Denver
Nuggets,
Kings.
Kings.
And Eastern Conference is a pretty much runaway of two teams. We have the Bucks and we have the Celtics.
Agreed.
Moving on to the NHL playoffs.
Playoffs?
Thank you. We have some interesting matchups. We're going to get to one important one in a second, but we're going to go through the list and everything like that. We're going to start with, are these all 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I want to make sure it's all 16 teams.
Right.
I'm going to go through, I wish this was...
I want to do it the other way.
I want to see... Yeah, we're going to do it that way.
Hold on one second, folks.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go to the NHL playoffs. We're going to start with the Atlantic Division, and we're going to do the same thing. Granted, yes, we don't follow all these teams, but we're going to do our predictions, everything like that. We're going to start with the Atlantic Division with the Boston Bruins, number 1 seed versus number 4, Florida Panthers. I think this is pretty easy.
Boston.
Look at the goddamn record. 65-12 and 5.
Oh, yeah, they've been killing it all season now.
42, 32, and 8. I'm sorry,
I
Florida.
think they set the record for most points scored in a season this year.
Would not surprise me. I think so too. Yeah, this is an easy one. It's Boston. Johnny's going to get his ring with the Boston Bruins.
And Ted's going to go out
and Ted's going to potty.
So wait, you're saying sweep?
I'm gonna say sweep.
I'm gonna say in 5.
I was thinking 5 on an easy note, but I was like, I think they could sweep passes.
I think they will. I think either or. That's my either or.
Yeah. We have the number 2 seeded Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, the not reigning. I think they were the reigning Eastern Conference team, but they weren't the reigning defending champ. I want to say Maple Leafs because I always like to root for Canadian teams in hockey because it's literally the sport you're supposed to win. Oh. I'm gonna say Maple Leafs in 6.
I'm actually gonna go Tampa in 6.
Okay, you think, which is probably very true because Toronto likes to fall apart in the playoffs.
Yes, exactly.
I'm rooting for your Toronto.
I've been getting some inside knowledge here about Canadian hockey teams here a little bit lately. So
yeah, I've always thought like to see this. This was like Canada's. It almost seemed like Toronto's always been Canada's team. They always seem like to be the one that I almost fucked up the name. Canada likes to root for the most in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's either them.
They root for any Canadian.
The Ottawa Senators, the Edmonton
Oilers, yep.
The Vancouver Canucks, and the Calgary Flames.
Yep, and the Montreal Canadiens.
And the Montreal Canadiens.
Yep. There was also one, too. There was an old one, the Quebec Notre Dix.
Notre Dix?
Notre Dix, yeah.
What's a Notre Dix?
I have no clue. I found this out because of Up, Up, Down, Down, Edge and Christian playing hockey. Edge played as the Quebec Notre Dix. Actually, really fun. You should watch that episode. It's actually really funny.
Is that the one you have shown me before, where they just leave those two, or is this a different one with those two?
Well, they actually talked about being in a fight.
It looks like it's like in the backstage. Like,
yeah, and they actually talked about being in a fight because of the game and everything like that. You haven't watched it yet, you should watch it. It's fucking hilarious.
I remember.
Next up, we have a matchup of the Carolina Hurricanes versus the New York Islanders. Number 1 seed of the Metro Division versus number 4. I have watched New York Islanders play in person, and I'm going to say this loud and proud. Fuck you, New York. Carolina in 5.
All right. You know what? Carolina, rock New York like a hurricane in 5.
Yep. Carolina is good. Carolina is
they're very underestimated. I feel
they've always been in the last couple of years. They've been in the top of the. They've been in the top. They haven't been able to win it all, but they've been in the top. I don't think New York's ready yet for this playoffs. I think Carolina is going to come out fired up and play.
Yep.
Next up, we have the number 2 seeded New Jersey Devils versus both New York teams made the playoffs.
Yeah, right.
Versus the New York Rangers. I'm going to go Rangers because a part of me doesn't want to root for anything with the devil name in it because honestly, I don't want to be damned to hell. So I'm going to say Rangers in 6.
I'm going to go Rangers in 7.
Okay, so we both have the Rangers and at least the series going a little bit further.
Yep.
All right, we're going to skip this matchup because we're going to go to other ones because we're going to save that last one.
Okay.
Well, it's because it's...
Yeah, I know.
We're going to go with the Central Division, and yes, we're skipping something because it's more important to us than any other ones. We have the number 2 seeded Dallas Stars versus the number 3 Minnesota Wild. I'm going Dallas in 5.
I was going to go Dallas in 5 as well.
Yeah.
Minnesota, I hear, they're very inconsistent.
They're very up and down, but they are a team to watch out for. They are such a sleeper team. Next matchup in the Pacific Division, we have the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Winnipeg Jets. Vegas in 5.
Sweet.
I say Vegas in 5. I just think the Jets get 1. I think they get 1 in Winnipeg. Like they're gonna get 1 at Winnipeg.
I'm gonna call a sweep.
Honestly, the Golden Knights are probably I'm calling. It's hard for me because our team is in the playoffs. But I'm going to be real with y'all. I was real with y'all with the Mariners and the Seahawks. We'll be real about the Kraken. Vegas and Boston's probably going to be the Stanley Cup finals.
That's fine.
And it's going to be a damn good finals. And we actually just watched Vegas last couple nights against the Kraken. They're good. Like, the Kraken has had a really good year. Is one of the best teams about like puck control and all that stuff. But if you watch Vegas, they know how to exploit all that and actually attack it much better. So Vegas in 5, you say Vegas in a clean sweep.
Yep.
All right, next matchup we have the Edmonton Oilers versus the Los Angeles Kings. Give me the name. Give me my last name. Give me the Kings in 6.
Yep. Kings in 6 as well.
And finally, we have the Colorado Avalanche versus the number 4 seeded. Yes, you can say this one fucking time. First time in franchise history. Because it's only been 2 fucking years. The Seattle Kraken making the playoffs. Which, again, this matchup we'll talk a little bit more into because we've actually watched the Kraken all year. I am going to say upset alert, Kraken in 7. I'm going to say Kraken in 7.
I'm going to say Colorado in 6.
Okay. That's not... The thing is, though, with the Kraken is...
I think we're going to put up a great fight.
We are.
But I think not having that playoff
experience
is going to come to hurt us.
The thing that I'm going to say, though, is that I think they can get by this first round, lose the very next round.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be my personal thought was like, if we were to get by Colorado, we won't be getting by whoever's in the next round.
And not to underestimate Colorado because they obviously are the reigning defending Universal champions. But they are not as good as what people really think of them. The Kraken, we want to give a lot of shout out to the Kraken. First of all, you went from last place and 60 fucking points last year to you end the playoffs and you surpassed your points by fucking 40 points. Jared McCann has been on a fucking tear.
Oh yeah, definitely. Matty Beniers having the rookie of the year season.
Yep.
We've been kind of battling it a little bit with the goalies, with Grubauer, with Jones, and
Drago. I guess Grubauer was coming off an injury from the offseason.
Yes.
So that's why we saw a lot of Matt Jones.
Yep.
But Grubauer is actually a really good goalie. The thing with the Kraken, though, is they get hot and they're on fire, tear it up, but then when they drop some games, they drop them big.
I just want to see Oleksiak get in a fight. I don't want to see the big guy get in a fight.
Let the fighting happen, please.
I mean, can you not say that every time we've watched a Kraken game, a fight is about to break out, the refs break it up?
In any other hockey game.
But we watched another
fucking hockey game. We're seeing fights happen. We're seeing fisticuffs. We're seeing the punches being thrown. But in the Kraken game, the minute they grab each other and start like wanting to go punch each other, Ref comes in. He's like, bear hugs, and he's like, no, love each other.
And we're not saying this is just at our own stadium. This is just like anywhere we play.
Anytime the Kraken plays anywhere, they could be in fucking Las Vegas. And then when saw a fight happen, all of a sudden the ref comes up and bear hugs both of us and goes, no, not today, folks, not today. Really? 2 weeks ago, you let that same player from Vegas beat the living shit out of a kid out of Minnesota. What the hell?
Right?
I'm not asking for much in hockey. 2 things. The Kraken to go far, hopefully win a Stanley Cup at some point before I die. And a fight. You took that away from me when I went to the fucking game against New York. 4 times there was supposed to be a fight. I didn't see a fucking fight.
Oh boy, the Irishman's coming out in him now.
I want to see a fight, okay? I don't know if I'm part Irish, but an Irishman in me want to see a fight. All right? I want to drink a pint.
With some Irish whiskey.
Not Guinness. I fucking hate Guinness.
No, I can't do Guinness.
But I want me my Blue Moon or my Hefeweizen. I want to see a fight. I want fight night. Okay? Fight night. I'm not asking in any other sport. Just hockey, please. And other sports too, buddy. Basketball fights are the
funniest. Basketball's fun.
Yeah, because they're fucking tall and long armed.
Baseball and football fights, those are good to watch too.
Oh, exactly. What are your favorite sports fights? Boxing and UFC don't count.
Yeah, ones that actually technically are fighting, no.
But going back to the NHL playoffs, I think we can both be in agreement. I think the teams that are probably going to make the Stanley Cup Finals, I think if you watch them all year long, it's unless some miracle happens and they don't make it, it's very much leading towards a Vegas versus Boston Stanley Cup. Both teams have been the best teams of the respective divisions. Granted, Seattle at one point was in that run, but Vegas never dropped further than number 2. They've always been at number 2, if not number 1 in the West. Yeah, I mean, Colorado's right there at second place behind them, behind Vegas. Colorado could repeat, but I think they've been hungry since they've been in. They've been in the playoffs every year since becoming a franchise. And Kelly brought up a good point. I think Seattle Kraken fans, we need to accept one thing. Our rival is not Vancouver. It's not Vancouver. Yes, they're the closest team to us, but it's Vegas. They're the 2 youngest teams in the NHL, the 2 most brand new teams, and when they go at each other great.
Yeah.
The Canucks haven't really done much in order for it to be a good rivalry. Because more times than not, we're kicking the living shit out of them.
Yeah, I don't think a rivalry always has to be, necessarily the team that's closest to you. It's just who's in that division, who are the 2 that are always, button heads here all the time. It can be said for like our tool, like our high schools that our high school we went to. We always think it is that the Nooksack, school.
But actually, it was based on different sports.
But yeah, it's always based on the sport. Because yeah, you got like them for one thing, and then you got like Meridian for another, and then so on and so forth.
Meridian was probably our football rivalry.
They were your football, right? Because they were pretty dominant back then when you guys were playing.
We were pretty much neck and neck. Nooksack, not to discard that school, but
until the rise of Linden, just took a whole county over.
Basketball, anyway. Yeah, basketball. But we'll discuss this after the show. Yeah. You guys don't need to hear about this.
Yeah, you probably don't even know what we're talking about.
So that's it for the NHL playoffs. Do you have anything you want to add on to that?
No, can't wait to watch that first game here. On
Tuesday. Exactly. I'm going to be working. Fuck. Yeah.
You're working. Fuck.
Yeah. Going on to the Major League Baseball, we are in the first month of baseball, and we'll break down each division, leaders, and everything like that. Currently, we'll start. Do you want to start National League or American League?
I just say start from the top and work our way down.
All right, we're going to start with the American League East. We have the Tampa Bay Rays leading the division 14-2. We followed by Toronto, New York, Baltimore, and Boston.
So, first of all, I want to say this. We just, like Ryan said, we're in the first freaking month of the season. What, there's been 16 games played so far? They'll have 140 more to go here.
Absolutely not. We need a World Series champion right now.
I mean, yeah.
All right.
But yes, Tampa Bay off to a hot start. Very hot start, was going undefeated until they finally got the losses. Toronto, they're right on their heels, followed by Yankees. Boston... Man, I hope they...
I'm not going to discard anything because looking at the other divisions and looking at this one, the lowest team is at 500, which means this division is good.
So I was going to get out. Boston, yes, you're not starting off as great, but I think you're going to turn it around.
Yep. Followed by in the Central Division, we have the Minnesota Twins at 10-6, the Guardians at 9-7, the White Sox at 6-10, the Tigers at 5-9, and then the Royals at 4-12. Now we're looking at a division that is really based on two teams, while the other three are just there.
I think Cleveland will end up taking that division again, like they did last year with Minnesota, right behind them.
Yep.
And then White Sox, Tigers, Royals are going to be fighting over who wants to be in last place.
In American League West, we have a surprising Texas Rangers are in first place at 8-6. The Seattle Mariners climbing back after a very rough start at 8-8. The Astros sitting at 7-8. The Angels also at 7-8. And then the Athletics, which is probably the worst team in Major League Baseball, at 3-13.
So I think we're going to have it again here. Houston will probably most likely end up taking the division again here. But I think we're going to also see a battle between both the Mariners and the Angels this season, trying to get that second spot up there. I don't see the Rangers doing much, and I don't see, obviously, Oakland doing much.
I actually am a little different. So the reason why we see Houston here, you guys, is because, one of their star players, Jose Altuve, is actually out with an injury. Suffered an injury during the World Baseball Classic.
Sorry.
No, you're not. Stop lying to yourself. I disagree with you, though. I don't think it's the Mariners and the Angels. I think it's the Mariners and the Rangers. Because Angels, I'm sorry, but you have two of the best baseball players in the world.
Hoping for.
And you guys still blow chunks, so I'm sorry, Shohei Ohtani. And Mike Trout, I think you guys are going to be not there. Also, congratulations to Japan for winning the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, yeah.
Over to the United States. I'm sorry. It was just meant to be that it was Shohei Ohtani versus fucking Mike Trout. And I'm sorry, Trout. You represent America great. But Ohtani is proven why he is the motherfucking best in me.
By the way, since we're on that, because, that was something we forgot to bring up. Great World Baseball Classic.
Absolutely great.
If you have not watched that and you enjoy watching Major League Baseball, you need to watch that World Baseball Classic.
Let's put it this way. For anyone that is a soccer fan, y'all watch the World Cup more or you'll watch the Olympics more? Same thing with baseball. World Baseball Classic, amazing. Olympic baseball, meh. World Baseball Classic had a lot of amazing games. We got to watch, I think you watched a lot of them. I only watched a few games of Team USA, but it was an amazing game. And then the build up, and again, it's a great event for all these players to represent their countries. and do it in such a competitive manner that we got an instant classic. We got classic games.
Yeah.
So
it was also cool to see some like Israel, like a baseball team for Israel, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, I thought was cool. Also, by the way, Great Britain.
I'm gonna say this.
Help your players out.
I'm gonna say this for all you players on Great Britain's team. I apologize that they shafted you on some motherfucking jerseys. Treat your goddamn players right. Get them a fucking good looking jersey, okay? Not one that looked like it came out of the fucking 1920s that they just plastered Great Britain on.
Yeah, that was.
Going into the American League East, we have the Atlanta Braves sitting at 12-4. National League, excuse me. Sorry. We have the Atlanta Braves at 12-4. New York Mets at 10-6. The Marlins at 8-8. The Phillies with Bryce Harper at 6-10, and the Nationals at 5-11. I think it's coming down to between Atlanta and New York. New York has really spent the money for a World Series this way. They have really spent the money to win it all this year.
Yes, they have.
Going to the Central Division, a team that I'm actually rooting for in the Central, and actually all of the National League, the Brewers at 11-5, the Cubbies at 8-6, the Pirates at 9-7, the Cardinals at 7-9, and the Cincinnati Reds at 6-9. Very close division, everything like that. I do like the Brewers. I think they are a team to watch out for.
Yeah, I would say over the last 5-8 years though, Brewers really went downhill. They were actually one of those top teams up there for a while, and then they just went downhill. It's good to see them start off the season really good here.
Yeah,
that team really needs to turn around. Show there.
And then in the National League West, we have the Diamondbacks, Arizona Pride, 9-7. The Dodgers at 8-8. The Padres at 8-9. Giants at 5-9, and the Rockies at 5-11. Rockies we just saw get swept by the Seattle Mariners. Mariners going to the World Series. I'm sorry, Arizona. I love y'all, but it's going to be the Dodgers or the Padres.
A lot of people are picking the Padres this year, actually.
Well, with Juan Soto
to win it all.
I mean, with Juan Soto, Manny Machado, fucking Fernando Tatis. Like, if you don't win it, then you're a fucking joke. Like,
like we haven't seen that before.
Yeah, look at New York. Look at the Yankees. That's them every year. Can't really talk about all of baseball and everything like that, but we can talk about the Mariners a little bit. Mariners, listen, folks. Listen. I've always said there are two types of Mariners fans. Okay, there are two types of Mariners. There are the Mariners fans that always believe that they are the best team and that anytime they lose a game, there's always some conspiracy against them. And there are the real Mariners fans. When guess what? We're not the greatest thing since sliced fucking bread. We're gonna lose a goddamn game and we'll find a way to win. Guess what? We're doing that. The Mariners, listen, they're not a bad team. All their games, they're pretty close in. It's fucking April.
Yeah. We still have 2 more weeks to go of April still.
It's fucking goddamn... Listen, the Rays are going to fall apart very soon. They're not going to win 116 goddamn games. The Mariners, though, like, there's a lot of question marks on what they did in the offseason. I don't... you brought up points of, like, them trading away the bullpen, for...
some guys that were really good in the bullpen. Honestly, I think our biggest weakness right now, actually on the field right now, is our second baseman.
He hasn't really came into his his groove yet. Actually, a player that deserves recognition is Jared Kelenic. Been on a tear lately.
Rays boy.
Yep, Julio Rodriguez has been playing like Julio Rodriguez. Had a kind of a slow start, but
that's the way it was last season too.
You also got to think, people. A lot of these guys also play the World Baseball Classic. They're maybe a little tired right now. Ty France, my boy, killing it right now.
Yep.
Crawford's having a pretty decent start.
Luis Castillo just killed it today. And
Luis Castillo has proven that he's our ace. He's our guy.
I'm sorry, it's not Robbie Ray.
Isn't he 3-0 right now? Luis Castillo, I think, is at least 3-0.
Gotta be at least 3-0 because he won the opening day.
He actually, in every pitching, I know at least he's 3-0.
They use win. 1-0 win.
Luis Castillo is 2-0. With a .73 ERA. He is currently leading the team at 26 strikeouts. He has 4 walks, 2 earned runs, 11 hits. He's killing it.
Yep.
He's
I mean, if you look at the team leaders,
he's kind of killing
winning
it.
pitcher, ERA, strikeouts.
I'm pretty sure if we put him in the bullpen, he gets saves. And looking at batting right now, Kelenic, like we said, is killing it right now, leading the team at 362 batting average and 4 home runs. Let's go here. See, again, just looking at our guys. You have Kelenic at 362. You have Ty France at 328. Suarez is at 292. Crawford's at 260. Julio's at 239. Teoscar Hernandez is at 238. Cal Raleigh's at 220. And like you said, 114 for Colton Wong. I guess we still got to just wait and see with that. Maybe he hasn't came into his rhythm and everything like that.
Yeah, that's where like losing of Adam Frazier is really going to hurt us this season.
Exactly.
That's why I was hoping he would get him back for another season. Try to keep most of that on the field team intact. Pitchers, I knew we were going to need. We really needed, and obviously we need a true DH as well.
Currently, right now in our RBI game, we have Suarez leading the team at 13. We have France at 11, Cal Raleigh at 9. Julio at 9, Teoscar at 9, Kelenic at 8, and so on and so forth. Home run wise, we have Kelenic leading the team at 4. Honestly, we're doing just fine.
Yeah, we're doing just fine. Tom Murphy, unfortunately, you need to start turning around because it's gonna be days that Cal needs a rest.
Well, unfortunately,
I think eventually, Tom Murphy's going to end up saying that we're gonna have to bring somebody else up if he keeps up because he's just not off to a good start.
Currently looking at leaders right now. And home runs. Yeah, Peter Alonso, the New York Mets leading at 8. We have Devers from Boston leading at 7. Currently.
Oh, actually, before I forget, Rays have homered every single game they played in.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that earlier today.
Nice.
Damn.
So Major League Baseball is off to a good start. Really a lot of classic games, and again, it's way too early to say shit. There's only one certainty, and that is the Oakland Athletics are terrible.
You're gonna end up getting sold. You're gonna end up probably moving to Vegas.
And I actually want to say this. I actually feel really bad for Oakland Athletics because
they're a proud franchise.
They're a very proud franchise, but your owner does not give a shit about you. They don't want to do anything about your stadium.
Billy Beane's still working and they're trying to do what he can, but the owner's just hurting him.
But that's my thing, though, is like I don't blame the players. I blame the organization for not giving a shit.
That's the point, then. It's like, if this don't give a shit, then why do you still owning this team?
Sell the team.
Yeah, just sell it.
Like, you're losing money because you're not having fans because, A, your stadium is terrible. Your stadium is fucking terrible. The fans deserve a lot more than what they're getting. And Marshawn Lynch talked about how much he was in a press conference for Oakland and actually talked, and if you don't know, Marshawn Lynch is from Oakland. He is Oakland proud. There's a reason why he went to the Oakland Raiders for his last little bit of career is because he knew that they were being sold to Vegas and he wanted to play for Oakland Raiders before the franchise left. And he talked about how they're losing the Raiders. Oakland, which was the original home of the Golden State Warriors, lost them. He asked that they did something about the Athletics because can't lose. The city needs a sports franchise. And honestly, the Athletics are a proud franchise. We remember back in the early 2000s when they were one of the best teams in the American League.
The Giambi's, the McGuire.
The fucking three-headed pitching monster of Barry Zito, Tim Hudson.
And Barry Zito, yep.
Oh, God, I can't remember the last guy's name. But anyways, fix your shit. On to college, the last thing we'll talk about for this and everything like that, we want to give a couple shout-outs. We had a crowning 3 champions that we know of. We're not going to go into all champions and like that. But 3 champions that I've seen recently. Want to give a shout out to the Oklahoma women's gymnastics team winning back-to-back titles. Great job to you. Applaud for that. And then we also had the ending of the NCAA tournaments. We have Angel Reese and the fucking LSU Tigers beating Iowa Hawkeyes and Caitlin Clark, winning the national championship for women's basketball. Well deserved. LSU was a great team, by the way. I will say that. They were probably the best team out there besides South Carolina. And then finally, in the men's basketball tournament, we have the UConn Huskies beating San Diego Aztecs. San Diego, thanks for coming. Really wish you guys would have played a little bit better, but you deserve a lot of credit for making it all the way. But UConn, proving that they were the best team, they actually found this out. They've won every game by double digits in that whole tournament.
Wow.
They never had a game more than closer than I think 12 points. They've won every game by 12 or more points.
Yeah, that's just domination right there.
Exactly. And so UConn Huskies men's basketball team, we applaud you for winning the national championship. We are into college baseball and college softball. I wonder if we can get some standings. We'll get to rankings for college baseball. Currently right now in the NCAA and college baseball, we have LSU Tigers sitting at... God damn, LSU. You're just proving, LSU, that you're one of the best schools for athletics. Just saying. We have LSU at number 1. Let's count how many Pac-12 teams are in there right now. I see Stanford at number 8. We have UCLA.
2, 3, 4.
We have 4 teams. 3 California schools, 1 Arizona school. Oregon's was at number 25, but I guess they dropped.
Yep. Wait, yeah, the Beavers are not. Damn.
I guess the Beavers are not having a great year. Oregon State Beavers usually a pretty good team. Oh, I guess we should talk about this. The Quinnipiac hockey team, college hockey, also crowned national champions. First time in school history, Quinnipiac University wins the national championship in hockey. Great job to you. College softball standings. I don't think this is a surprise here. Oklahoma is dominating the shit out of everyone. UCLA is sitting at number 2. We have UCLA, Stanford, Washington, Oregon.
3, 4.
Where's the 4th one?
Utah.
Oh, Utah. We have 5 teams in the Pac-12 in there. Obviously, big UW softball fans. Sitting at number 10.
Kentucky. 24, 10, and 1. You're really?
Yep. Listen, it all matters about this team.
I'm just looking at some of the teams underneath them. Like, you have Baylor there at 30 and 9. They're 19. Like, really? Auburn, 29, 12.
Well, I mean, I don't think Clemson should be ranked number 7 when they're 37 and 4, and Florida State is 32 and 7. Fix your shit.
What the hell?
UW actually just pitching a no-hitter just recently. I
guess that's really all we got.
That's all we got for right now. They did a little better with.
They don't have a whole lot on ESPN for college because there's not a lot of big name.
They just do basketball and football, and that's it.
Pretty much, and then
ESPN fix your shit. All right, guys, that's it for sports talk. We did a little bit of everything. See what you guys think. Let us know what you guys want to hear in regards to the draft coming up in 2 weeks. Let us know your predictions on the NBA and NHL playoffs, and we'll get back to you guys more about baseball. We are actually going to be at the Mariners game on April 23rd against the St. Louis Cardinals. Actually, kind of a birthday trip for Kelly and I. His birthday's on the 21st. Mine is on the 21st, right? Yeah. I'll make sure. 20th and the 21st always was like it's there. So it's like, is it the 20th or the 21st? I can't remember.
Yeah.
And then my birthday's on April 24th. We're going to go to the April 23rd game, Sunday game. We actually talked about wanting to go to a Sunday game. It's a day game. I'll be repping my Seattle Mariners Hall of Fame Edgar Martinez jersey. Kelly will probably be repping one of his Griffey jerseys.
I'll probably be wearing my teal one. I finally got one. I've been waiting to wear one.
Yeah, that's the one you've been waiting for a long time. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, like, subscribe, punch that notification bell. We have some more projects coming your way. Waiting for Kelly to finally go watch the fucking Mario Brothers movie so we can do a Mario Brothers movie review.
Yeah, I finally just watched Black Adam earlier today.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that fucking movie. I'm not seeing that movie. Kelly, you got anything for the peoples?
No, like Ryan had said, we got more stuff coming as well. By the way, on Baseball Talk, we decided that probably about mid to probably end of the month we'll talk about baseball.
Yep.
Because it's just way too much. And we'll also probably wait till after this first round of NHL playoffs and obviously basketball playoffs. We'll get all that.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
We want to see what's gonna happen before we even do something, so that way we can talk about it.
Obviously, in football, like the rounds were per week and everything like that. Basketball and hockey are longer, so we're gonna go round by round. So
actually, there was one thing. I told you this earlier. I actually want to talk to you about real quick before we sign off, and I actually want your people's opinion as well. So. Obviously, football, it has to be this way. Single elimination in the playoffs. Do you think in other sports like basketball, baseball, football, should we have single elimination or should it be a certain amount of games played?
Hockey's
okay.
Because it's the most tenuous. It's the most physical sport.
See, that's why obviously the way football is that way. Because I could imagine football playoffs being like best 2 out of 3. You have to play every other week, and you know how long that season would stretch out for because of that.
Well, not only that though, but there's a little bit difference when it comes to like football and other sports. Other sports, hockey and basketball, are very similar. They're very much like reactive sports in a way, where football it's reactive, but it's more so you're taking each time to learn plays and stuff like that. There's more play building in football than there are in other sports. Because in basketball, literally, you can just say give it to your best player and have him fucking go to town. You know, hockey, it's going to be more so puck movement and setting up your shots and everything like that. Baseball, I'd say not a 7-game series. Maybe cut it down to like 3 to 5.
At least the first rounds, I always feel like should be anywhere from 3 to 5.
Only because with baseball, and again, we've had this talk before. I think 162 is very long of a season. Cut off 62 games, make it 100 games, go to playoffs and everything like that. You get a little bit fresher players. But in my mind, like, if you do a 7-game series in all rounds of baseball, it takes fucking forever to the point where you're like, God damn, just
even though game times are down right now because of the new pitch clock being implemented now into the game. Because who was it? Just Angels and somebody here just today. It was like literally like almost an hour and a half game. It was like an hour and 25-minute game.
Yeah.
It was like, wow. I would be like, I'd almost kind of be disappointed as a fan to get there and be like, literally, I just spent all this time just to get here, and then it's like this, and it's like, boom, it's over. All right.
I'm not saying the games need to be shortened like that. I think the seasons just need the amount of games played.
But I think that's
needs to be shorter.
But I think that's what's also contributing is that the shorter games, guys have lesser chance to get hurt.
Exactly,
giving them extra time to recover.
Well, that's the reason why I said 162 games is too long of a season, because at that point you got everyone that's fucking. You guys think catchers? You think about catchers are playing a lot of those games.
And this is also the first season that they've had in a long time where actually each team is literally playing each team, even from the National League.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just played the Rockies. That's the only time we'll play them all year. We're not going to go visit them, but we are now, and I like that. I think that's the way it should be. That every team should play every team, especially if you are having 162 games a season. Because I'm sorry, playing your divisional rivals like 4, 5, 6 times over and over is just too much.
That's my thing. That's the one thing I've always hated is the fact of like, yes, they're divisional, and yes, I get it. People whose names I'm not going to mention heard it from a lot of baseball fans that, oh, we got to win our divisional games. But why do we need to play the goddamn Astros 12 fucking series? I'm not talking 12 games. I'm talking like 12 fucking times a whole series.
My thing would be, it's like for divisional games, 4. 2 there, 2 at your own place.
Call it.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, you can go 3 to 4 games. So you're talking, saying that they're 3 games.
3 to 4 series games. Yeah.
So you're talking, 4 series at 3 games. 3, 6, 9, 12. You got 12 games against your division against the fucking Astros. You don't need fucking 32. It seemed like last year the thing that bugged me the most. I think I told you this, and you understood. You kind of felt what I was saying. It seemed like every time we turn on the Mariners, they're playing the fucking Astros.
Yeah, it was just
they're playing the goddamn Angels.
It's just the way the scheduling is, especially when you get toward like the end of the season. It's like, oh yeah, we have to have all of a sudden we have to have all these divisional games where we're
COVID made sense. So they did it a lot in COVID where they played most of their division. That made sense. We weren't supposed to have a baseball season. It need to play the fucking Athletics. I mean, granted, yes, it would help us playing the Athletics because we kicked their ass. But again, I want to see him play the Phillies. I want to see him play.
Right.
Not necessarily the Yankees. I fucking hate the Yankees.
Mostly, I want to see more National League teams. What I want.
Well, especially since National League went to the DH rule, and so they're not having pitchers hit. So now it's all the same.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. And I'm going to say this. We're going to start seeing more of Shohei Ohtani's, where we're going to start seeing players actually pitch now. Because, the funny part is, and Kelly and I talked about this, that's what we grew up with. Well, all our pitchers that we've ever played with in baseball also had a position on the field. They weren't just our pitchers.
Yeah. Some of them would, as soon as they were done pitching, pulled out. Okay,
they
go to your position over there, so-and-so.
Yeah.
You're either coming in to pitch or you're heading to the bench. And
we had one of our pitchers play second base or shortstop, whatever Corey was.
Shortstop.
I thought he was second base with varsity team.
Mostly shortstop, but he'd go either too.
We had one of our best pitchers play fucking third base. Yep. We had a pitcher play fucking outfield. And yeah, it was one of those things where it's like they come in and pitch, they'll go back to their positions,
I actually remember one time, I think we were playing, I think this actually was in high school. One team we're playing, actually, it was the Bellingham Red Raiders. There was actually one guy that he had such pitching potential, he was not allowed to bat. He was strict. I think Galbraith actually knew him, or Evans, one of the two actually knew him, kind of, and because they're keeping up on him and stuff like that. And I actually asked him, like, "Are you hitting?" He's like, "Nope, I'm strictly pitching." Like, wow.
If you have the team to do that, that's fine. But when we were freshmen and we were watching the varsity team, our best pitcher was also our starting catcher, Wes.
Yeah.
And we primarily used him as catcher, and just he'd come in and pitch whenever he needed to. And I remember the story. I don't know if you remember the story. A 90 plus mile an hour ball at a hit in the corner, and it hit him in the head.
Oh yeah, no, I remember. Anyway,
Wes was a fucking animal.
Anyway,
all right.
But yeah, I think you're right. I hope we do see more of the Ohtanis where pitcher, batter, or even pitcher, fielder.
Yeah,
It
brings a different level. It brings a little bit more of like home to me, because it's like I remember watching some of our best players be pitchers and also play on the field.
Yeah.
They
were not just good at pitching, but they were also good on the field as well.
Yeah, and they could hit.
Decently bad.
Yeah, and guess what? On the days where he's pitching, he doesn't get to bat. Per rule. There's a DH rule. And just take that opportunity. I think when we played the Angels, Shohei played the field, and then when he pitched against us, he actually didn't hit. So,
No.
Also very very cool moment. If you have not seen it, but it was on the Mariners page and everything like that. Really special moment was watching Shohei Ohtani talk to Ichiro Suzuki, two of the biggest names from Japan to come to America, two icons in baseball, and the respect that Shohei Ohtani bestowed onto Ichiro, kind of in that homage of like, you set the bar for me, for me to succeed here. It goes to show how much Ichiro deserves. Because Ichiro was such an icon and such an amazing ball player, and arguably one of the best Mariners. You can go either way with him and Ken Griffey Jr. Wait for another day. Actually, we've already had that debate.
We've actually had that debate, yeah.
Hard to release.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, guys, like I said, I just wanted to get Ryan's opinion there on the, like I said, the how playoffs should actually start playing out. If this should be a single elimination or anywhere between a 3 to 5 to 7 game series.
Yep.
Going forward, it sounds like NHL definitely could be single elimination, and you definitely would like to cut the series down to at least 3 to 5. Sounds like
in baseball.
In baseball specifically.
In baseball specifically, basketball can go either way.
Okay.
Basketball, I'm just going through like these different things I want to see who's actually winning and everything like that. Basketball, I could say 5 games. It makes the games a little more interesting and challenging. But overall, with the NBA, there's not a lot of competitive.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Hawaii men's volleyball.
I was gonna say, it's honestly probably, I don't think you'll ever see them go under 5 because they want that money. They want that money.
NBA's all marketing. Like, that's what it really comes down to, is that they're all about that money. How about that balls?
Ball.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I wanted to get your say on. What?
So this is NCAA tournament meetings. Yes, it is. Okay, I was gonna say, I didn't see any of these motherfucking teams on there. All right. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in, and tune in next time for Sports Talk. We promise to be back, everything like that. Y'all, Kelly with the outro as always.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it. 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 A kame and a hame. Send them home to mommy. Thank you guys all very much. See you next time.